Disclaimer, the comments made in this video are intended for entertainment purposes only and are not intended to offend anyone. Welcome back. Today, we're looking at what happens when modern outrage meets someone who refuses to play along. Bill Burr doesn't yell slogans. He points out contradictions, and that's usually enough to break the spell. Now, let's start with Bill Burr questioning why white people suddenly call themselves woke.
What kind of a fucking idiot white person refers to themselves as woke? If you actually were socially conscious, you'd realize that white people stole that word from black people. But you know what? I blame black people for that. One of them f***ed up. They were at a party, there was white people there, and they let it slip out. Stay woke, however the f*** you say it, and some white person heard it like, what was that? Oh my God, stay woke? I want to say that. I gotta say that around my white friends so they know that I'm down. Oh my God, I'm gonna say that. Every white person likes to lie to themselves that they were alive, 150 years ago, that they would have been working on the Underground Railroad, trying to help slaves escape, right? I would have been one of the good white people. I would have taken time out of my day, risked my life. And the reality is you'd be doing back then exactly what you're doing today. Nothing. Maybe a little hashtag, Black Lives Matter. Oh my God, my heart breaks on my L-shaped couch.
Bill Burr doesn't just attack wokeness here, he audits it. He points out that calling yourself woke while doing absolutely nothing is peak performance activism. Everyone likes to imagine they'd be a hero in history. In reality, they'd be refreshing Twitter and changing their profile picture. Moving on, Bill breaks down how white liberals accidentally handed the word woke to the right.
You know what's funny is white liberals are the ones that gave the definition of woke to whites on the right. So no white people really understand, it seems, what that word really meant when they took it from black people. So people on the right just think it means an insufferable, self-involved liberal douche. And they're not wrong if they're talking about a white person. Right. Running around crying about their pronouns is like the sun is like lighting the planet on fire. See, look how scared you are about pronouns. It's unbelievable.
They like when you talk
Meanwhile,
about
the rest of the world doesn't want to take our food because they see what we look like. They don't want our beautiful chicken. They don't want our beautiful beef. Yeah, why is that? Why would you think?
It is just always the best.
Go to Europe and if you can, and eat a tomato and see what it really is supposed to taste like. This is a tomato?
That's a good advice.
Oh my
See the
God.
world. Hey, congrats again on the show.
I thought it was supposed to taste like Xerox.
Bill highlights the perfect hypocrisy. The word woke was hijacked by white liberals, then thrown into right-wing purgatory. And yes, the right is correct to roll their eyes. Between the climate panic and pronoun obsession, nobody's asking for chicken or beef anymore, but hey, at least hashtag survive. Next up, Bill delivers a masterclass on how white women didn't just join wokeness, they annexed it.
I gotta tell you, the way white women somehow hijack the woke movement, generals around the world should be analyzing this. The woke movement was supposed to be about people of color, and it was about that for about 8 seconds. And then somehow, white women swung their Gucci-booted feet over the fence of oppression and stuck themselves at the front of the line. My name is Burr, with my SUV and my heated seats. You have no idea what it's like to be me. Trash and white guys. The nerve. Where's the camera? The nerve of you white women. You guys stood by us toxic white males through centuries of our crimes against humanity. And occasionally, when you wanted to sneak off and hook up with a black dude, if you got caught, you said it wasn't consensual. Yeah, that's what you did. So why don't you shut up, sit down next to me, and take your talking to?
Leave it to Bill to notice the ultimate power move. Hijacking social justice while wearing designer shoes. White women took woke, flipped it, and strutted across history's oppression with style. Apparently, centuries of standing on the sidelines haven't slowed them down. They just learned to post about it. Then Bill tackles the wage gap debate by asking the one question nobody wants to answer. Who stays behind when everything is on fire?
Like really into like women's issues. So we used to always have these dumb arguments. So one time she came up to me, she goes, okay, explain this to me, Bill. Why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job, huh? I go, I'll tell you why. Because in the unlikely event that we're both on a Titanic and it starts to sink, for some f***ed up reason, you get to leave with the kids and I have to stay. No, think about it. If there's a house fire, it's always women and children first. I gotta stand there with like the back of my shirt on fire going, let's go, people, let's go, let's go. You hear a bump in the night, I gotta go check it out like, yes, he does have a knife. Anytime there's a hostage situation, who do they negotiate for first? Well, at least let the women and children go. Well, what about me? Bullets hurt me too. Why the f do I gotta stay in the vault? Where are all the feminists in those situations? You know what I mean? You can't find them. There are no feminists in a house fire. That's a guarantee. You could take the most hardcore feminist, some chick right in your face, like he's shoving his son of a little short, little haircut, the whole 9 yards, right? Second those flames break out, she's gonna twist those little hairs into pigtails.
Bill Burr uses bold hypotheticals to highlight a simple truth. Risk often comes with responsibility and compensation. Men may get higher pay not because of alone, but because historically they were expected to literally take the heat. It's messy logic, but that's how reality works. At this point, Bill talks about discovering that political extremes don't disappear. They just live closer to the ocean.
I thought I was liberal until I moved out here. And then there's just like this psycho extra level of liberal where it's just like they are as insane as some of the craziest people on like a right-wing thing. Like they're just totally extremists. And I find there's a lot of bullying out here, just as much labeling, but they're patting themselves on the back because they feel like the way they think everything should be is so right because they live near an ocean. It depends on the situation. I'm a big believer in helping out people that need help, but I'm also a big believer at some point you gotta like quit your whining and you gotta because nobody gives a fuck about you or your dream.
Right.
Okay? That it's up to you to care about it. So you have at the end of the day you gotta make shit happen. They're only gonna push you behind the bicycle for so long to make sure you don't tip over. So and it's just the art of it is when to apply it, which I'm not saying I know how to do, but like there's sometimes I'm really empathetic, and then there's other times it's like, oh, well,
Bill Burr nails the absurdity of extremism no matter the coast. His ability to point out bullying, labeling, and ocean-adjacent moral superiority is sharp and hilarious. He makes you laugh while realizing some people really do take ideology way too seriously. And speaking of absurdity, Bill roasts cancel culture for reaching peak stupidity the moment it tried to cancel dead people.
It was this kind of hilarious moment, like last year, where they started to try and cancel like dead people. Remember that? All of a sudden, out of nowhere, like John Wayne was trending. I'm like, what, they got some found footage? You got a new movie coming out that maybe they shelved? And all of a sudden, it was all these stupid, woke white people, right? Oh my God, did you see what John Wayne said in Playboy in 1971? This is a bunch of people all up in arms about a dead white guy. I can no longer tolerate this. I can no longer tolerate dead for 45 years John Wayne saying things in a magazine that doesn't exist anymore. I am here for black people.
Bill Burr perfectly highlights how absurd cancel culture has become. Trending John Wayne for a 1971 play is peak ridiculousness. It's one thing to debate accountability, but targeting the dead, that's comedy gold, and Burr delivers it flawlessly. He makes you laugh while thinking, seriously, can you cancel someone who's not even here? Now here's Bill doing the impossible, telling ugly woke people that maybe personality was always an option.
That's why ugly people are complaining so much. Like they won't take the time to develop a fucking personality, write some jokes, do what the rest of us have to do. Like, I don't get mad at Brad Pitt, you know? How come because he's fucking beautiful. I'm a fucking bald, red-headed male. I know where I am in the pecking order. And some of these fucking people who are complaining right now, who are mad that beautiful people get treated differently. I understand racially speaking, but you're not gonna do the beautiful thing. And then there's another thing they try to say. Well, society tries to, they're the ones that fucking do, like I love when like there's a supermodel, like this is like an impossible standard of beauty to try and live up to. Yeah. That's why she's on the cover of a magazine.
Bill Burr is just calling out a harsh reality most avoid. Some people focus on complaining instead of self-improvement, and Burr turns that uncomfortable truth into comedy gold. After that, Bill calls out the hardcore left for pretending cancel culture never existed, right after they finish canceling everyone.
You know what's funny right now is watching the hardcore left walking away from their hardcoreness, after they took out so many innocent people. Now they're doing their new thing is like, nobody got canceled. What are you talking about? Oh God, another old person saying we can't even say this. It's like, no, you did do that. You did do that, you cunts, right? That is what happened. That is what happened, right? It all happened. We all rollerbladed. We all told people they had to get vaccinated, and liberal left people flipped out if you didn't say they, and they tried to you. That's what they did. That is what they did. Now they're like, what are you talking?
It's wild how people can destroy someone's reputation and then act like nothing happened. The hardcore left denies their own impact, flipping out if anyone points it out. Burr exposes the inconsistency. Actions speak louder than words, even when people pretend otherwise. Then Bill walks straight into the abortion debate with a take so blunt it makes everyone uncomfortable.
Pro-choice always made sense to me because I don't like people telling me what to do. And I always just like, it's your body. Who the fuck am I to tell you what to do with your body? So that always made sense, all right? However, I still think you're killing a baby. See? That's where it gets weird. It's not a baby yet. That's what they say, which may or may not be true. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but I'll tell you, my gut tells me that doesn't make sense. It's not a baby yet. That would be like if I was making a cake and I poured some batter in a pan and I put it in the oven, and then 5 minutes later you came by and you grabbed the pan, you threw it across the floor, and I went, what the f*** ruined my birthday cake? And then you were like, well, that wasn't a cake yet. It's like, well, it would have been. You didn't do what you just did. There would have been a cake in 50 minutes. Something happened to that cake, you cake murdering son of a right?
The cake example is perfect. That's exactly how many right-wing people approach this issue. They won't stop you, but they won't pretend it's fine either. It's an uncomfortable truth wrapped in a simple analogy. Next, Bill laughs at the sudden appearance of racist white guys, wondering where this enthusiasm was during earlier elections.
I love the racist white guy thing. A bunch of racist white guys. They came out of the forest and they were just going Trump, Trump, Trump. It's like, where were all these racist white guys the last two elections when they could have voted against the black guy? They were fine. Oh, I don't mind the black guy. But this white lady, we gotta stop her. It's gonna take her four-wheelers, Macuzzi.
Burr highlights the irony of outrage being selective. These same voters suddenly show up in a frenzy, but were mysteriously absent when it mattered in previous elections. It's a reminder that people often get politically energized only when it fits their current narrative. And now Bill steps into the transgender athlete debate, making it very clear he doesn't care until sports enter the chat.
Gender athletes, I don't understand that, you know? I understand it if, you want to switch around, I don't give a shit, but I'm a sports fan. That's a really new concept to me, that you can be a dude, right? Ranked 80th in the f***ing world. You have your cut off, you put on a sports bra, and now you're the #1 tennis player in the world just coming out there.
The situation Burr describes shows how complicated athletics can get when categories change. It's an example of how cultural shifts can create unexpected tension in arenas that were once straightforward. Right after that, Bill spots the triggered crowd, the hashtags loading, and male feminists desperately rewriting their resumes.
Look, I'm sure that there's some feminists in the crowd right now not appreciating this joke, feeling triggered, feeling like they need to put out a hashtag or some and be brave and speak out. You know what? You're full of People are so scared now. You have the male feminist. Like, where the did that come from? Just out of nowhere, last couple years. I'm a male feminist. I've always championed women. No, you haven't. You haven't. This came out and you're scared. You did something. You grabbed some. What the did you do? I'm a male feminist. I totally see the way you see the fucking world. It's impossible as a man who was raised right. To be a feminist. You can't do it. You're a man.
This is classic hypocrisy. White men claiming feminism after a lifetime of, well, the usual. Burr calls out the performative stuff, hashtags, speeches, and moral posturing replacing real effort. It's the kind of moral theater that makes people roll their eyes. Finally, Bill sums it all up by calling out modern feminism for preaching inclusivity while bullying anyone who disagrees.
Usually women that want to push this and men who are it's like these men that don't like aggressive. They don't like aggressive men. They don't like manly men, and so they push it as well.
No, because they're aggressive and they're controlling and they want to run. Because that's the thing where, like, if you really look at their agenda, when they say the future is feminine, that's not inclusive.
And Bill soon shed the curtain on extreme feminism.
And they're all about, oh, make this more inclusive. It's like, no, let us in so we can take it over and then we'll push you down. Is the psychology
of the kind of person that goes after that, someone that's after like power. I'm not saying the average woman is like that. My wife is a feminist and she's into like inclusive shit. But like people who are spearheading stuff.
But Bill also had a rational take on why feminism gets most of it.
They think this is their time. This is their time to get back at men. Did you not see the Women's March? Saw a bunch of people walking.
Right, listen, I'm not saying the points that they're making don't need to be made. I'm not saying that their complaints are not just, it's the execution of it.
Yes.
Where it's like you're gonna go through intimidation and destroying people.
Bullying people.
Yes. Some of the biggest bullies right now, I can't believe it because I'm a lefty, are on my side of the fence. And you know, when someone's on your side of the fence and you're looking at them like you sound like a crazy person, that's when you've entered, like, you know, what was your special? Strange Times?
Yeah.
Weird.
The issue isn't the complaints themselves, it's how they're enforced. People push inclusivity like a rule book and end up intimidating everyone else. Burr points out what many on the right see. Ideals become oppressive when applied without common sense. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which moment you agreed with the most.